Hi guys, so this is going to be my first ever video going up on my channel. For my first video I thought it would be relevant and a good idea to do the 50 facts about me tag. So you'll find out by the end of this video 50 facts that I hopefully have informed you of, that you probably didn't know about me. Even if you do know me, if you had college with me, if you've gone to school with me, you probably wouldn't know some of these facts. So yeah, without ado, I'll just get started. Number 1. I am 5'9". Don't know what that is in centimetres, work it out. I am a size 6 in shoe size. I have big feet. I am normally either a size 8 or 10 in clothing. Normally size 8 in dresses and size 10 in trousers and some tops. I have only been to one official wedding and about 100 funerals. That sounds really horrible and really nasty and depressing, but the wedding that I did go to when I was little, I didn't even know I was going to it and I was in jeans and a t-shirt. I am, believe it or not, a really good swimmer. At one point I could do butterfly for about 3 lengths, and I think I was about 10 years old, and that was really a big achievement for me. I couldn't do that now, but I can still swim obviously. If you learn to swim you don't lose the talent. So I have 7 cats. Yep, 7 cats. Started off with 1 in about 2003, and then I had 2 for about 5 years, and then it just grew and grew and grew until now I have 7 cats. I also have a horse, which I've now had for nearly 7 years, which really does freak me out. He's 17 years old, so he's the same year as me. He would be in the same school year as me. So I almost call him my twin brother. I have been around horses since I was 2 years old. The first time I rode a horse was at 2 years old, and I've never looked back. My favourite type of music is the 80s. I just love the 80s theme and the whole music synthesized era. Get it right. My favourite band is Duran Duran. Absolutely love Duran Duran, been a fan since I was about 5, seen them live 5 times now. Can't get much better than that. When I was about 14, I did chop all of my hair off. When I say chop it all off, I mean chopped it all off. I had it shaved this side with a little bit coming down here, and then this side was long. Not as long as this, but it was like, yeah. And it was mixed opinions. I personally liked it to begin with, until some people said, oh no, I think your long hair did suit you, and other people were like, yeah, that really does suit you. But then I think the bad opinion got to me after a while and I grew it out. I never had it ever again. I have a phobia of vomit. I am absolutely terrified of it. I'm sorry if you're eating something right now, and I'm sorry if I've just popped off your food, but I have a absolute bad fear of vomit. Even if I hear it, I see it. If someone's been sick around me and then they've just come from being sick, I can't deal with it. I don't even like it myself. Obviously you don't like being sick yourself, but have a panic attack if I see, hear, or even I'm around it. My favourite food is Indian. I absolutely love Indian. The flavours of it are just absolutely amazing. My favourite place in the whole world is Los Angeles. I can't get enough of it. I've been there 3 times now and it is like a drug. I really do need to go there again. I've only just come back and I want to go again. I only have 6 people in my family. 6 people, not including my boyfriend's side of the family, or else that would be a lot more. I am currently in a relationship. I have a boyfriend and I have been with him for 3.5 years. I am one of these people that if you text me and I don't text back for like about a day, that is because normally my phone is on silent. If I haven't had it off silent for a good while and I then put it on loud, I don't recognise it's actually my phone, and I go, who is that who's got their phone on loud? How could they do that? And then I found out it's actually me. I don't smoke, never had the intention of smoking, and never will smoke. My current favourite film is Suicide Squad. I watched it last week in cinemas and I absolutely loved it. But if I had to pick an overall film that I really did like, my overall film would be Back to the Future. I am a super fan of Back to the Future. I've seen the sets and props from the movie. One of my favourite things to do when I do have a bit more money is going to concerts. Not so much festivals, but concerts I really do like. I have seen probably about 15 artists throughout my lifetime, and some of those I've seen more than once. About a year ago now, whenever The Theory of Everything came out, I went to see it in cinemas, and within the first 20 minutes I was crying. And it hadn't even got to the stage where it started to deteriorate yet. And from then on I cried throughout the whole film. I have a really low emotional barrier, so I can get quite emotional quite quickly. Like if someone doesn't even have to raise their voice at me, they just have to tell me something like, oh, you are such a horrible person, and that can be it. I will think about that for days and it will stick in my head, which is why I'm nervous about starting YouTube with the hate comments. I enjoy summer months over winter months. I enjoy having nothing on. Not exactly nothing on, but I enjoy having small layers on, thin tops, and enjoy just being loose. Not as in loose, but you know what I mean. For the 17 years that I've been live and the 17 Christmases I have had, I have only been in the country for 5 of the Christmases. I have been abroad for 12 Christmases out of 17. I am currently halfway through a 2-year film course. Which brings me on to the next fact. I am a film nerd. I really do love films. If I ever watch a film, I go straight to the behind the scenes and watch all the filming of the film. I have highly sensitive teeth. I only have to sip a little bit of cold pop or squash and I have brain freeze instantly. I am currently suffering with on and off neck pain down the side of my neck each side because my wisdom teeth are coming in. I had shingles at the age of 15. If you don't know what shingles are, please research it. I suffer with vertigo. Vertigo is where you don't cope with heights very well. Even just standing up at my height even makes me dizzy at some points. If it's really bad, it's normally when I'm tired. When I was in secondary school, I hated every day of it. If anybody's watching this from my school, you'll probably understand why I hated every minute of it. Because, in my opinion, I was the lowest of the low in my school year. Religion-wise, I am actually really weird. I am what's known as Wiccan. If you don't know what Wiccan is, please research it. I am a big believer in spirits, ghosts and karma, which I just mentioned. I've always been a big believer in ghosts and spirits. I have seen some crazy stuff, which is why I believe it. I always think that if you don't see something that you can't explain, you will never believe in it. You have to witness it with your own eyes. I have a fascination with crystals and gemstones and have a collection, a personal collection, just sitting behind the camera there. I am allergic to the food colouring in mushy peas, ones in the tins where they're actually fluorescent green. I am allergic to the food colouring in them. They'll just come out in a rash. I am absolutely terrified of wasps and bees. Now I know bees do us good in the world, like, you know, they get pollen from plants and take it back to the little hives and create honey and all that. I completely understand that, but they have something at the end of their body which absolutely stings to high heaven. And it is called a sting actually. Same with wasps. Wasps have no purpose in the world whatsoever. They're just there to be menaces and cause pain to your body. Moving on from that, I once got stung by a wasp twice. I was on my way to school once and I put my coat on and got down to the car, and I got in the car and I felt like I was having a seizure. Not gonna lie, it was just a stabbing pain in the back, lower back. And Mum was like, whoa, what's the matter, what's the matter? And then about 10 seconds later, another stabbing pain happened. And my mum was like, get all your clothes off, get all your clothes off. And then to the right side of me, I saw this wasp fly up out of my jacket. And it turns out that wasp had been there all the time. I'd put it on, walked down to the car and sat in there, which absolutely terrifies me. I have this thing where I can almost predict what is going to happen. Like if I'm in a class or something, I will think of a random person, like, oh, I wonder if such and such done this, and then I realise that they're not in the room, and then about 10 minutes later they will walk through the door. Don't know, not a clue. Going also back to ghosts, another fact about me, you might think I'm absolutely crazy and tapped in the head, but I actually saw someone who was meant to be dead. Anybody thinking, what the hell? I like to look at dogs, you know, walking past. You do, you think, oh, what breed are they, like, you know, walk past. Saw him go by, thought, nice dogs, and he sort of looked at me a bit weird, which was when I actually looked back to find him. He sort of looked at me like that, and I was like, what's his problem? Why is he looking at me like that? So then when I turned back to look at what he was, like, you know, going like that, he'd gone, completely gone, and there was nowhere that he could possibly have gone. And I saw him with my eyes, my actual eyes, and I said to my mum, I said, where's that man gone with the dogs? She said, what dogs? What man with dogs? And I was like, there was a person who was walking their dogs, just went that way. He was like, there's nobody there, I didn't see anybody. And they says, well, there was a man there that got killed by a van. A couple of years ago he was walking his dogs and the van lost control over the speed humps and crashed into him. And I thought, right, okay. Also something called empathic. That is a very long-winded story. I am currently 17 and I am 18 in 4 weeks. I am also currently learning to drive. I've had 4 lessons and I am on the roads. I love to fly. I love to fly in aeroplanes because mostly it means I'm going somewhere nice. This is really sad, but when travelling to LA, this is more about my patience levels actually, but when travelling to LA I did nothing but sit in the seat and do nothing for 10 hours. It's really weird because my patience is like, if I'm waiting for something to come, if I've ordered something in the post, my patience levels will be really, really low, like really low. My favourite drink is Coca-Cola. There is a difference between Pepsi and Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is better. I am weirdly obsessed with the Victorian era. I think it's absolutely fascinating the way they used to live. I love to travel as well, if you hadn't noticed. When I was 3 years old, I broke my arm pretending to be Superman. I was on my swing out in the back garden and I chose to stand up on the swing, so I was swinging, standing up, and then I chose to jump off the swing, not realising that the swing would just go backwards if I pushed on it, and it did go backwards, and I flew like that and I just went bang like that and my arm hit the ground and it broke. Yeah. Last but no means least, this is another injury actually. I went riding in Spain about 4 years ago. I was riding along a street in Spain, and this horse decided it was going to have an absolute freak moment at somebody doing their crops in the next field along, and it went up like that and I went up with it, and the round bit of the saddle at the back was where my coccyx landed, and I couldn't sit down for about a month and a half. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. You've obviously got to know a bit about me, that I am an absolute freak and a weirdo, but no, trust me, everything I've said is true, it's a fact. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will enjoy watching my videos in the near future. Thank you, bye!